Good evening, beautiful people. It's your favorite real estate agent and investor, Cierra Thurman, and I'm here to help you build a legacy that moves you. Okay, so tonight is all about credit. Hey, Weldon, I see you. I'm going to be asking you to join. See if we can get you on. So I'm inviting you, and I think you're inviting me. And between one of the two, we're gonna get it. Yes.
Hello,
How
how
you
you doing?
doing?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Sorry about that.
Thank
I had to
you.
I had to do this in my
Oh,
car.
oh no, it's okay. I totally understand. So before we get into it, how was your day today?
I'm overall pretty well. Can't complain. A little busy, but pretty well. I'm not
Well,
gonna complain though.
well, we certainly appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with us. And it's all about credit tonight.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
All
How
right.
about you?
So
How you been though? How's your day going?
my day has been very long. Okay. I literally just woke up from a nap.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing when we get done talking.
Listen, you know
Knock
when you getting
right out.
older, when you be needing that midday nap.
Oh
Okay.
yes,
Like,
definitely. Definitely.
so
But I
well
appreciate you having
then,
me on your platform.
oh no,
I very much appreciate it
I
very much.
appreciate you for joining us. I really do.
Thank you.
So can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, and how you got started in credit repair?
Okay, so my name is Weldon Accely, better known as Ace One Credit Understore. I can change your life.
Yes.
Um, how I got into credit was ultimately I went through a bad spill back in 2010, around the time of the housing market and all that stuff and everything. So pretty much in a nutshell, I lost everything: foreclosures, repossessions, um, um, what you would call it, foreclosures, repossessions, charged off accounts, um, being sued, you name it. I went through
Hmm.
a big spill with that. So ultimately, I went through. Um, I knew that credit was very important at the time, even though I went through what I went through at the time. It's a long story. I could go through it, but we could be here all night me trying to go through it. So I just want to just paraphrase it real quick. But ultimately, I went through several, along with my twin brother, credit repair companies, people that made a whole bunch of promises, telling me all these things that they were able to do. So ultimately, what they were doing, they were preying on my desperateness. All
Mm.
right. So if a person told me, pay them 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 to get my credit repaired, I was paying that money because I knew, having good, strong credit would give me access to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even
Right.
millions. So thankfully, the position that I'm in now, being able to have access to millions of dollars worth of credit as well. So ultimately, no one was able to help me. I guinea pig myself, was able to clear things off of my report, get my credit better, and I'm like, wow, I got something. So when I figured I got something, I just started guinea pigging other people on repairing credit, and even I still didn't know what I was doing, but hey, listen, I was telling people what they wanted to hear at the time, and I was able to, again, guinea pig people. I went on YouTube, bought a
Hmm.
whole bunch of books, um, you know, got game or information from other individuals that's big into credit, and ultimately formulated it to what I do today, into being able to do credit and repair credit and do the things that I'm thankfully able to do today.
Wow. So you said was that 08, 09? What was the starting year you said?
No, the starting year was well, I bought my first property was I think '06, '07.
Okay,
I bought
okay.
properties. So my twin brother and I have a twin brother. His name is at my best 197, big in the real estate. So I have a twin brother. So he and I, a bunch of friends of ours, we all wanted to get into real estate. We went down to Georgia, bought properties, and trying to get into the rental
Right.
business and own the properties. And so in between that time, I had a tow truck company that I got involved in, doing
Okay.
that, doing scrap metal, and I was doing all this at the time using credit. But at the time, I didn't understand the importance of credit. I just
Right.
happened to have good credit.
Got
All right,
you.
so around the time of when the housing market crashed in '08,
Okay.
'09, 2010 is when everything started dwindling. And so I had to make a move. I had to pivot because I
Gotcha.
was drowning in debt. The properties that I owned, the tenants weren't
Okay.
paying me. So the scrap metal went to shit. Excuse my language, but went to bed. I owed all these credit card companies through lines of credit, credit card companies,
Gotcha.
lines of credit, credit cards or so. And again, I had to make a move. I had to pivot.
So
You know what I'm saying? So
ultimately, you were almost like your first customer, right? Because you experienced some type of financial difficulty, and your credit at one point wasn't the best.
yeah, it took a dive. So pretty much what I did um in '09, October of '09, I stopped paying all these items that was hurting
Okay.
me. So I strategically looked at my credit report and I was looking at, okay, I'm gonna keep this account, I'm gonna continue paying this account, I'm gonna continue paying that account, I'm gonna continue paying this car, I'm gonna continue paying on this house. But anything else that wasn't a benefit to me, I had to pivot.
Gotcha.
I had to go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? I had to go
Mm-hmm.
against the grain with it. So I let everything go. So the day before my birthday is April 6th. I mean
Okay.
April 7th, rather. So the day before my birthday, April 6th, 2010, I got the best gift in my life that I didn't expect it to be a gift, or I didn't look at it at the time, is when my property or properties foreclosed
Mm,
on me the
mm,
day before my birthday.
mm.
Okay, so I tell anybody, if you Google my name, Weldon the Seller, you look me up, you're going to see in Atlanta, Georgia, 554 Holly Ridge Drive, my property foreclosed on me. All right. Not too long after, a month later, repossession of my tow trucks,
Gotcha.
um, you know,
When it
my
rains, it
credit lines, credit
pours,
cards.
right?
Yes,
Everything
when
was
it rained, it
happening at once.
pours. But it was a gift without me
Mm-hmm.
realizing it. I thought it was, my life was over. You know, I was 30, whatever, years old at the
Mm-hmm.
time. And again, I thought my life was over. And it wasn't. And
Yeah.
it came back and thankfully was able to come back stronger
Okay.
to where I'm at today, thankfully.
Well, amen to that. So, for those who may not know, you have some people who are not really familiar with credit, do not know the importance of having good credit. Can you explain to us why having good credit is so important?
Well, I look at credit as life. You know what I'm saying? Like credit is life. So my analogy of it is cash is king, but credit is his queen. All right. So
Mm, I
anyone
like that.
knows chess. Thank you. And I always say people gotta steal that analogy of me. So if you heard it first here, all right. But I speak it all the time. But my analogy of it, yes, the king is powerful, but if you understand chess, the most the most powerful piece on the
Is
board is the
that
queen.
queen? Yes, you're right.
Yes, the queen can move any which way, any which direction. Is ultimately is more powerful
Mm-hmm.
than any piece on there. And so that's why I always say, cash is king, credit is his queen, because when you have strong credit, even with a little bit of cash, you understand how to um handle your credit and why am I losing my train of thought? And manipulate credit
Gotcha.
and ultimately, use credit
Mm-hmm.
properly. You can have, I don't care how much cash you have. If you have strong credit with a reasonable amount of cash, you can
Can
get
make
busy
some
out here
things happen. Yes, I love that.
quickly, significantly.
Okay. So what about the flip side? What about myths? So you ran into some people who essentially sent you off, right?
hmm
They kind of took advantage of you. What are some myths that you hear about credit repair?
That you're gonna always see a lot of the times, especially on social media, that someone always has the key, or they crack the
Mhm.
code that is guaranteed that whatever it is that you're looking to get done on your credit report, as far as the repairing aspect of it, whether you're looking to get items deleted,
Mhm.
whether you're looking to get items updated to positive, history, you name it, that there's someone that always has, apparently has the code that's going to crack it, that no matter what you do, it's going to guarantee to work.
Right.
I say it all the time, it's a bunch of BS. All right. Now, I call myself the Michael Jordan of credit repair. All right. I'm excellent, excellent, excellent at what I do. I
Hmm.
hit slam dunks every time I go up. I don't hit home runs every time I go up to bat. And I'm
Hmm.
excellent and I'm great at what I do. So I tell anyone, if you're dealing with any sort of, whether it's a credit repair company, whether it's an individual, and they're making guarantees and promises, run the other way.
Okay.
Because if they're telling you what you want to hear just to get your business, and they give you a bunch of
They
excuses later.
lying.
I don't want, lack of a better word, I don't want to call anybody a liar. They just tell you what you want to hear.
They
And
trying
then
to steal y'all
potentially,
money. Run.
yes. You
Don't
know what I'm
believe
saying? So
the
they,
hype.
yes. So
I'll say it
anytime,
for you, Weldon. I'll say it for you.
so most of the time, I'll have, like even today, someone told me or asked me, "What is your guarantee?" And I'll tell them, if you're looking for a guarantee, looking for a promise, you're coming to the wrong person.
There
Because
you go.
I'm not gonna put myself in that position. But the likelihood of whatever I'm looking to do for you, more than likely will work out, or
Got
damn near
you.
close. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
never make a guarantee. I'll never make a promise ever.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Are you able to share maybe like a success story or two from a client that you've worked with and you were able to improve their credit, or maybe some things they were able to achieve once they work with you?
I'm sharing which way, because I gotta be confidential. I can't put
Well, we don't
people's names out there.
have to say
Mhm.
names, but just maybe like certain situations where someone who may be looking forward to working with someone and getting their credit repaired can say, "Oh, my situation might be similar to that." I don't know, maybe you helped improve their score by X amount of points, and then they were able to achieve X, Y, and Z.
Okay,
Um,
one of the best um ways is go on my page. I post pretty much all the work that I do, positive and or negative. But perfect example, I had a person's file that I literally posted this morning that I worked um on Sunday.
okay,
Okay, he had a pretty decent credit score. I think his credit rating was around 730 something, but he had Macy's account, and I believe a JP Mortgage Chase account, charged off account that was hurting his credit report.
okay,
So he came to me because even though he had a strong credit, those those negative accounts were still hindering him from being
mm-hmm,
approved. Even though he had a 720 score, when creditors ran his report for him to get new credit, they'd see these charged off accounts. Even with a 720 credit score, they are reluctant in giving him credit.
mm-hmm,
Okay, so he came to me to see if I could get them removed off his credit report. So again, if you look at what I posted this morning, I started on his credit file this Sunday, which was on the 14th. I looked at his profile this morning, and those negative items were thankfully off of his report 4 days later. So
wow,
yeah, yeah, so it happens. I could work on a report. I could get results the same day. I could get results the same week, the same, couple weeks, or depending on the scenario, it could drag out, where it could take some time. But typically, it's normally within a couple of days, couple of weeks, you should see
oh,
results.
okay, so I'm gonna say, let's use this example, right? So I have some clients who come to me sometimes and say, "Hey, Cierra, I really want to buy a house, but my credit score is 580. My credit score is 560, five
Okay.
seventy." Have you been able to help those people reach a different credit level? And if
100%.
so, typically, like how long would that take? Something like that.
All right. So normally for me, when I'm working on a person's report, as long as not the severity isn't crazy of it, like they just didn't let the entire profile just go shit the
Mm-hmm.
bed. Excuse my language again. Or so normally between 4 to 6 weeks, I should be done with your file.
Okay. Okay.
Normally,
Well, that's still
okay. But then
that.
this
Yeah.
it's still pretty decent time. But
Mhm.
then I can deal with adversities that can drag it out. So
Gotcha.
one of the adversities that I could deal with is if the credit profile has already been disputed prior in the past.
Okay.
So if anyone knows credit and understand credit, that any time that an account or accounts has been disputed multiple times, it decreases the likelihood of whatever you're looking to get done with the profile or the account, as far as, let's say, again, removing late payments, updating it to a positive account, deletion, you name it. Each time you dispute it, it decreases the likelihood of whatever you're looking to get done that it's going to happen.
Okay.
So that so
So
that,
it's
that
better.
could be my adversity.
So it's basically it's better for a person to come to you first versus trying to do it on their own or having other people do it, right?
Yeah, if the file is what I call a virgin file,
Okay.
pure, never been touched, the likelihood of whatever I'm looking to get done, it's like a 95% chance that I
Wow.
should be able
Wow.
to get it straightened out. But if I have to go behind, you know, I will never call out these companies or
Right, right,
individuals.
right,
But if I have to
right.
go behind it, but if I look at a person's report, you can see pretty much immediately if it's been previously
Touched.
touched or dealt with before, whether it's the client themselves or they hired a company or so. The moment I look at, it, I'm able to tell that. So the moment that I could see that there was any previous disputing done, I already know that I may have an uphill battle that I'm going to be potentially dealing with. Because I have to try to clear up a lot of that mess that was done prior.
Gotcha. Okay. So what about some like key factors that may negatively impact a person's file? So I know you mentioned like a charge off account. Are there other things that may negatively impact someone's file?
Yes, of course. So as you stated earlier, charge off, of course, late payments, collections,
Okay.
um, closing out positive accounts that you've had a long time,
Okay.
and you just close it out because you just chose to just close out the account. That can negatively impact you. But anything that's going to be negative, again, late payments, charge off, collections, repos, child support, um, depending if the child support is negative rather, foreclosures,
Okay.
judgments, anything like that, it's going to have a negative impact against you.
Okay. So the person watching, they know they have some issues with their credit and they're looking to book a consultation with you. What are those initial steps in trying to get their credit repaired?
Okay, so first we'll have an initial conversation to understand what are your goals. If you understand what's going on with your credit, what you may be dealing with.
Okay.
Okay, so now if the person decides they want to move forward with an actual consultation, of course I'll need to see all their all their reports, the major bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, in conjunction with each other,
Okay.
so I can assess their profile.
Okay.
Okay, so that could be with them. Majority with me, because it's me ultimately passing the buck on to you anyway. I could pull my clients' reports themselves,
Mhm.
myself. I don't charge you for it. All right, but I'm big on being transparent, so I always tell my clients to open up their own monitoring site.
Okay.
All right, so there's many monitoring sites that they can use. Of course, they can use Experian, get all three bureaus, TransUnion, get all three bureaus, Equifax, get all three bureaus, um, Identity IQ, Credit Check
Mm,
Total, Smart Credit, any one of those, and set up an account. Let me get the information to get into it because again, I'm passing that buck on to you regardless. So I
gotcha.
like my clients to be on the same page with me. So whatever I'm telling them through the assessment, they can see it right along with me.
Makes
All right.
sense.
So that way we're always on the same page. I'm not pulling the wool over your eye. You know exactly what I'm speaking on. I can point you in the right direction. So again, so I can assess the profile to see exactly what they may be having that's going on with their report and come up with a game plan to what's going to be the best course of action for me to put you in the best position to ultimately be where you're looking to go at.
See, so that makes sense, and that's different than what I've heard other credit repair companies state, right? You essentially are saying, hey, we partners in this. I want to work with you. I still want you to have a level of accountability. You need to know what's going on with your file. So everything is transparent, everything is open. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't look at it like I'm working with you. I'm working
Got-
for you because I
Gotcha.
tell I tell my clients ultimately you are my boss. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna give you my suggestions. I'm gonna give you you know the best course of action to what I see visually. But ultimately, you are my boss. I know I don't just go into your profile and do whatever the hell I want.
Gotcha.
All right, but also you hiring me for me to do work for you. So hope for me to again ultimately put you in the best possible position that I can get you in.
So once you all have established that part and you know pretty much what you're working with, do they pretty much tell you which items they want you to attack or what goals they have in that sense?
No, I'm gonna give you my suggestions.
Okay, okay,
Okay, I'm gonna give you my suggestion or what I believe is in your best course. So if it's a negative account, automatically off rip, I'm gonna be focusing on those negative accounts.
okay,
A closed account, charged off account, a collections account. repo, anything that's what I deem to be derogatory,
Gotcha.
especially if they closed out, charged off, um, you unpaid account. Those are going to be accounts that I'm going to be focusing on to you.
Okay.
All right. So now, if you also potentially have opened accounts that has what I call life happened, late payment here,
Mm-hmm.
late
Mm-hmm.
payment there, whatever it may have been, that puts you in that position or so, I may also factor that in. But depends on how recent the negativity has happened with that account.
Okay.
So I put together a whole PDF game plan of the accounts, the specific bureaus that they're reporting onto, the status of the account,
Okay.
the amount that the account is, and I send it to you in the PDF format. So for you to
Okay.
review it, and these will be the accounts that I'm gonna be particularly stating that I'm gonna want to have to go after for you. Okay, and based on my package, what you decided me to do, then we all gonna know the price point on what I'm gonna be doing. So now, what sometimes what end up happening, I have a client go against the grain and say, hey, um, this collection account is only $20.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I'll pay it. So I don't factor it into the pricing.
Gotcha.
Okay. So now they may tell me that I may still give them my opinion to why it doesn't make sense for them to be paying this or so. Ultimately, if they decide to trump me,
Right.
that's their
Client
choice.
has the final
The
say, pretty much.
client has the final say. Yes.
Okay, real quick. We have a question in the chat. Um, even 4 to 6 weeks for removals for someone who has a lot of negative items. Maybe someone like yourself in the past who let everything go negative. I think, can you ask that question again? Weldon, I'm not sure if you fully understand that question.
Yeah, I'm not understanding.
Um, Dre, are you able to ask that question again regarding the credit or ask it in a different way? And while they're pulling up that question or asking it in a different way, because I didn't quite understand the question,
Yes.
we'll
I
move
think
on.
I think I know where he's getting at, but I
Okay.
just want to be sure.
Okay. So we'll wait for him to plug that back in. If you all have questions, please drop them in the chat. Next, let's go over some fees, right? Because some
Okay.
people might say, hey, I want to do credit repair, but I don't know what the cost is going to be. How do you break down your payment structure? Is that something you could share with us?
Yes, I wish I could send it to you guys, but I'll break it down to you guys. So I base my work on items.
Okay.
Okay, so my packages is based on. So you'll see whenever I send my packages to my clients, it's going to say 1 to 3 items is set price,
Okay.
4 to 6 items set price, and so forth. Up to 20 items or more. After 20 items or more is one flat price.
Okay.
Okay, so now so whenever I send it out and it says items, so I'm hoping people that's on here will know some some creditors can either report to one bureau or they can report to all three, or they can
Mm-hmm.
report to two. It depends. The same thing like negative accounts, like a collections account. Typically, collections accounts reports to 1 to 2 bureaus. Okay, but even though it's one account, if it's reporting on all 3 bureaus, it's considered 3 items. Okay.
Gotcha. Because you're getting that item removed from each report.
I'm attempting to get it removed off of each report because
Gotcha.
whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna have to do it either 1 to 3 times, or
Gotcha.
1 to 2
Okay.
times, or if
Okay.
it's only on one bureau, one time. So,
Okay.
so I look at all the accounts that I'm going to be going after. I add them all up as far as each bureau that they're reported onto, and I say, okay, Cierra, you have a total of 13 items.
Mm-hmm.
These are the 13 items that I'm going to be going after. This account is reporting on 3 bureaus. This account is reporting on 2 bureaus. This account is reporting on, again, 3 bureaus. You add it all up. This is the price.
Okay.
Okay. So now my um, pricing is based on the work.
Gotcha.
Okay. Not what I'm ultimately able to clear up. Is based on
Gotcha.
the workflow.
Gotcha.
Okay. So if everything goes well, which it can happen, I can get every single thing. If let's say my goal is to try to delete. If it's a
Okay.
collections account, my goal is to delete it. It's a collections account. Okay, so like I had a client today, or potential client today, I was looking at. He had a total of 4 collections.
Okay.
Okay, Now, the collections were, again, they were either reporting 3 times, between 3 bureaus, 2 times, between 2 to 3 times. So in total, I said he had a total of 9 items. Okay.
Gotcha.
So when I explained it to him, all right, so the goal is, of course, is to try to remove all 9 items off of the report. I can very well remove a collection that's reported on 3 bureaus and only get it off of 2.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So what I like to tell my clients all the time, what to understand is what happens on one bureau may or may not necessarily happen on the next.
Yeah,
Because
very
I
true.
have it all the time. Say, I don't understand. It came off of experience, Equifax. Why is it still reported on a TransUnion? Understand they're their own business, they're their own entity.
Yeah.
So the outcomes may not necessarily happen on all 3 bureaus. It could happen
Makes
on one,
sense.
it could
And
happen
that
on
would
both.
explain why you have different credit scores on the three different bureaus, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, so we have this question here, even 4 to 6 weeks for removals for a lot of negative items. So I think he's asking if he has a lot of negative items, will it take 4 to 6 weeks?
No, it'll probably drag out because you can't tackle everything all at one time.
Gotcha.
Okay, because one of the main things you want to try to avoid is your credit profile being flagged from the credit bureaus as frivolous disputes. So you may have to do it in batches,
Gotcha.
right? Yes, yes, I'm saying. So it's normally best to do at most maybe, let's say if you had 10 negative accounts out there, I'll probably do at most in the beginning in batches 6 of them.
Okay. Okay.
With those 6 first, see how much of them that I could get cleared up. And after I'm done dealing with those 6, hopefully all is off. If not, maybe some may remain. And after I'm done with that, then I'll go jump on the remaining items that I didn't tackle initially. Okay?
Okay, so with
So,
that being said, with your batching technique, right? Because you said you don't want to get it flagged. Is it a certain amount of time that you have to wait before you do the next batch?
no, it's when it's okay. When I'm dealing with items, right? I dispute them from my techniques from how I go about doing a total of 4 times
Okay.
maximum. Okay?
Okay.
Because and I'm sure individuals that are on here, they find that if they dealt with credit repair individuals or companies in the past, they find that their credit profile becomes stagnant. In the beginning, if you remember in the beginning of our conversation, I was saying that the highest percentage of a chance of whatever you're looking to get done on a profile is the initial time you go after it.
Okay.
Okay? That's the initial time. So now they'll find that when a lot of activities happen the first go around. All right.
Okay.
Now they're dealing with whatever the company is. They're doing the credit. They disputed it a second time, a third time, fourth time, maybe even a seventh time, and they find that their credit profiles become stagnant and nothing is happening to the profile at all whatsoever. When that happens, is the credit bureaus flag the profile as frivolous disputes on there, which is what you want to try to avoid at all costs. So
Gotcha.
now, when that happens, is you have to fall back
Mm-hmm.
from doing anything with
Okay.
disputes on there. Let the credit profile reset, give it some time, and go back on it.
Okay.
So that's why you have to be careful on in the manner of how you go about disputing because you don't want the profile to be
Flag.
flagged,
Gotcha. So
frivolous.
it's strategy to it, and you've learned that with your years and years of experience. We had another question in the chat. Someone asked, "How much for what's this injury or inquiry removal? How much for inquiry removal?"
Inquiry removals. Oh wow, okay. All right. If I'm just doing strictly inquiries, okay. Again, I have to look at the report, see what inquiries that I can go after. You can't go after every inquiry, maybe or not. As long as the inquiries are not attached to any accounts that's that's associated with that inquiry, you can get the inquiry removed off the report.
Okay.
So I have to look at each bureau separately, what inquiries I'm going after. So initially it's 150 for the first 5 inquiries that I'm potentially able to remove off your report between the 3 bureaus.
Okay.
Okay? Every additional inquiry after that is an additional $50 each inquiry, each bureau that I'm able to get removed off the profile.
Okay. We got some more questions. Keep bringing them in, you all. More questions. And Weldon, we're not going to take up too much more of your time. But let's
Nah,
just
it's
try
all
to
good.
get some of this Q&A out
This
the
is this
way.
is this is what I
Okay.
do. We could be here all
Okay.
night. It's
Okay.
a lot of
Swift
info always.
asks, Swift said, if there are multiple accounts with late payments, what would the plan of action be if the client doesn't intend on using the account anymore because of hardship? That's a good question.
Um, if we agree for me to just try to delete the entire account, I'll just try to delete the entire account.
Okay. That's a good question.
Deleting the accounts, quite frankly, is the easiest thing to do.
Okay. Now, can deleting an account, even if it's negative, mess your credit up even more, especially like you might lose some of that history? Or is it better to
Depends.
not have a negative account,
I,
period?
I, okay. Um, as long as you have enough supporting history, the
Okay.
support was being lost or removed off of the profile. Remember, it's a negative account.
Gotcha.
It's hurting you no matter what.
Gotcha.
Okay. So if you have enough supporting history, the support was being removed off your profile, your credit has no choice but to go
Okay.
up. As
Okay. That makes sense.
long as as long as there's other factors aren't in play, such as your utilization isn't through the roof.
Okay.
If you have decent utilization, under me, I'm a little bit more aggressive. You normally would typically hit 35%. Me, it's 20% or less.
Okay.
So as long as your utilization is 20% or less, you have enough supporting history reporting on your credit that's positive or as much as positive as possible, your credit has no choice but to go up. No
See,
choice.
20%, that's a major gem right there because I got some work to do myself. That's actually really good. 20%, getting your
Yeah, you
utilization
always
under
hit 30,
20%.
35%, but I'm big on, you know, 20% or less.
Yeah.
20% or less. But if you have enough credit on your report, you can play that game.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like thankfully in credit, lines of credit, I'm in the millions. You know what I'm saying? As far as
You froze for a little bit. Are you still there?
I'm
Okay.
here, I'm back. You see me now? Yeah,
Yep.
somebody was calling
Okay.
me. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I could play that game as far as playing with the utilization. So, for instance, if let's say I have access to $100,000 worth of lines of credit, 20% is
Right.
20,000 to me. So, but if a person only has access to a thousand
Yeah.
dollars worth of credit, 20% is $200. So they don't have that
Yeah.
room to play with to play that game. So they could go food shopping, like as expensive food is nowadays, and spend $700, and they could kill their credit instantly just because of that. So
Okay. Makes
it's always case by case.
Okay, so now the client has worked with you, their credit is repaired. Now they got good credit. What should they do once they have good credit? What are the next moves they should make?
Um, be on top of your credit at all times. That's number one. Some people they're being um respectfully cheap with themselves. Pay
Okay,
that $20, $30 a month and monitor your credit report to know what's going on with your credit report at all times.
okay,
That's me at all times. Okay, and try to minimize negativity, anything negatives. Try not to have any, of course, late payments. Don't close any um, long-standing accounts that you have for a very long time. Monitor anything as far as potentially getting anything new negative on your report, like a collections account. Also, try to avoid anything with negativities on your report, and make payments on time. Every now and then, try to get credit increases if you can, from
okay.
what you already have, or get new credit cards.
Now, when you say
Also,
every now and again, like what is that timeline like? Like, how do a person know, like, okay, it's about that time for me to try to increase the credit, right? Or
a
should
couple.
you wait till you actually receive that offer from the creditor?
You can play that game. You can wait for the offer from the creditor. Also, if you have relationships already, you could call them or go to them directly where they could do a soft inquiry on your
Mm,
credit report where it's not hitting
okay,
your credit.
gotcha.
Also, to to see if they can give you increases on your report to now start have more of a credit utilization on your report, which helps as well. And again, play that game. Take out small loans. Don't mean you
Okay.
have to have the loan.
Mhm.
Take out small loans. Borrow against money that you have already in the bank and pay
Okay.
yourself back. You know what I'm saying? With your own money. You know what I'm saying? To build up and have a mixture of credit reporting on your credit between credit cards, loans, personal loans, car loans, etc., to build out an overall strong credit profile.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I appreciate you for coming on here. Your screen is frozen. We actually can still hear you. But can you
Okay.
tell someone where they can reach out to you, contact you if they're interested in credit repair?
Well, my webs or my Instagram is Ace1 Credit underscore I can change your life. You can go on my website, ace1credit.com. My phone number, 516-468-4971. So there's many ways you can get in contact with me. Um, and I mean, pretty much that.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us. If we don't have any more questions, we're going to wrap it up. Again, this episode of Building and Bonding with Weldon, Ace One Credit. Yes. Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. We got one more question that came in last minute.
My,
What's
my
the
screen's still
low
frozen?
what's the lowest credit score you've seen or heard of someone getting approved for a 3 to 4 unit but has good credit, mix of 10 accounts?
As far as for a mortgage?
I think they're saying what's the lowest credit score. So I probably can answer that. You can get approved for a mortgage with a minimum of a 580 credit score. So I think
Yes,
that's the
yes.
question.
I think that's
What's
the
the
question.
lowest you can
Yep,
get approved with? I
yep,
and obviously the higher the credit score, the better your rates and things like that will be with the lender.
exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. I also I've been promoting. Oh, my screen is still
It's frozen.
frozen. Oh,
Yes, but we can
oh,
hear
I'm
you.
sorry. Okay, but I'm also I teach my methods as well. It's called my 12 credit commandments.
Oh, you have a
Um,
course.
and I have a
Okay.
course. I have a live course, and I also have an online course. Same content, but of course, live is better if you have me live, of course. But um, my 12 credit commandments are the exact steps that I take in repairing one's report. So I
Okay.
teach my methods, explain why I do exactly what I do. Um, it's a game changer. No one is better than me at this game. And I don't want to say game. No one is better at me in credit repairing. I don't care who the company is, who the person is. I don't care who they operate with, they click. No one is better than me in this.
Hey,
But I
Weldon.
respect
Hey, I
everyone and
know,
what
I
they
know
do.
you said you call yourself MJ with the credit. I heard they call you Mr. Clean. That's what I heard.
Yes, I'm amazing at it. But like I said again, I never make guarantees. I never make promises. I don't tell you what you want to hear just to get your business. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, and
And
I do the best I can to put you in the best possible position.
absolutely. And you,
Always.
you actually got a lot of compliments in the chat. Swift said you're a very good and you're an honest guy. And I've
Thank you.
known you to be very transparent. I've sat down with you personally and had you review some things on my credit. And I told you from off top, your transparency, your honesty is appreciated.
Thank you.
And you even sharing your backstory, right? So if
Yes.
someone is interested in getting your course, because we have some people in the chat that are interested, how can they go about getting your course?
You just stop me real quick. um, but yes, you could go on my profile. Will be on there. You could go on ace1credit.com. It's on there. You can DM me. I can send you guys the link on there. Um, again, if you go on any one of my posts and you type in 12 step, I'll send you the link on there with the information for you to sign up. The course is next week, October 26th. I always try to do it every month towards the end of the month. So
Okay.
if it doesn't work out well for anyone for this coming month, there's gonna always be one next month, the month after or so. And like I said, it's dope. It's amazing. It's intuitive. I break down each step as clear and precise as possible to exactly do why I do exactly what I do. This is ultimately how I came up with these steps was through trial and error in
Mm-hmm.
in the 13 years of me doing credit.
Makes
And
sense.
I put together to what I see works for me most likely. All
Okay.
right. So it's going to be information that majority of the time that even the most pristine supposed credit repair expert never heard of. And I have those same experts that you guys follow has taken my course.
Mm,
Trust me on that.
mm.
Okay. But
So he say he
again,
MJ for a reason,
confidentiality,
right?
you got to keep the confidentiality at the end of the day. And I've had it been told many times, oh wow, bro, I never knew this. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why, again, even though we could do it, you could do it on your own with my online course, the live is a game
It's something
changer.
different with the live. Well,
Yeah.
I for sure will be sharing this replay, and I'm going to be making sure I tag your page and also let them know about your courses. Do you have any departing words, any final words for us before we wrap up?
I just appreciate people, everybody that supports me and supports my twin. My twin is at my best 197, dopest individual out here in real estate. If anybody knows and follows him,
Yeah,
they should because he's more popular than me. But just I just appreciate everybody supporting me, supporting what I'm doing, supporting my movement, and give me an opportunity. If I can help change your life, I definitely will.
absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on Building and Bonding, and thank you all for tuning in and for your